Okay. Right. So we will continue our lessons from the previous class, that we stop at electric field lines. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we'll stop at electric field lines. So today we will continue back. Okay, just do some recap on what we learned. Uh, what we learned. Last week. Okay, so just do some recap about the falling apple. The falling apple is come from the Newtons. Okay, when apple is equivalent to when apples drop, equivalent to the displacement, then we are saying that the force, okay, is in the direction. The force is in the directions of the displacement, and we can say that work is equivalent to positive. Okay, that will be the positive work. Then we can say that Apple is doing a positive work, right? Apple is doing a positive work because of the force, okay, follows the directions of the displacement. Okay, how? This is the force mg, and it should follows the displacement. Of course, the mg is going down and the displacement also going down. Then we can say that the work is positive. However, if he toss up back, okay, he try to toss up, okay, the apple, right? And of course, when he toss up the apple, the force is still going down because we have a gravitational force. This is force is going down. However, right now the displacement is against the direction of force, meaning that the direction of the apple is going up, and you can say that we will have a negative work done. Okay, so you should think of these both situations. Okay, when the force that is always going down due to the gravitational force, of course, the gravitational force is going down, and of course, this displacement is going down because it's dropped. Okay, apples drop from the tree branch. All right, so we can say that the work is positive, but the work is negative for the apple. Okay, why? Because right now Isaac Newton tried to toss up, okay, baling ke atas, right? But the original or the gravitational force, you should remember about this, the gravitational force, which equals to mg, is going down, still going down due to the gravity, okay? Because the gravity is going down, okay, how regardless of the position or regardless of the directions of the apple, either is going up or going down, but the gravitational force, okay, remember the word gravitational force here is going always going down. Okay, so that's why normally we just put w, okay, weight equals to mg. So normally weight or force is just the same thing. Okay, force equals to mg, and right now the displacement is going up, that against the directions of work, sorry, directions of weight, and that's why we can say that it can have a negative work. Okay, simple, meaning that if it against the force, then it should be negative work. When it's the displacement parallel to the when displacement follows the force, then the work should be positive. Okay, so when we are in the electric potential energy or electric potential, okay, we actually try to deal with the electric field. First, you have to know about electric field, E. Okay, the electric field. So electric field is going down. What is the purpose of the electric field? Because when we look at the electric field, okay, we know that the force is going will follow the electric field, especially for the positive charge. Okay, okay, we learned in the previous chapter that when force will follow the electric field due to this equation, E equals to F over Q. Okay, E equals to F over Q. We note here that E and F is directly proportional. Okay, and of course, when E is directly proportional to F, meaning that E increase, F also increase. But okay, for the positive charge, that positive charge will have a force follows the electric field. Okay, follows the electric field here. and we can see that the force is going down over here because due to positive charge. Positive charge will have a force follows the electric field. Okay, so that is it. That is about force. But right now, try to think. Okay, force. Now we have forces that will going down, and we want to make sure, or we want to or we want to up. Okay, or we want to lift up the positive charge going up here. Okay, look at the positive charge. Look at the displacement. We want to bring up, okay, the positive charge, okay, against the directions of force. Okay, to be exact, against the directions of force. When against the direction of force, what happens? Then we can have this part. Okay, we can have a negative work. Okay, negative work, right? So on purpose of when we try to bring up the positive charge, we can have a negative work. All right. So because of that, we can say that, right? The however, in terms of the real life is here. This is real life. Okay. When we try to bring up the charge, okay, when we try to bring up, let's say you are using baseball, okay, baseball, okay, let's say this boy, okay, happen to be a whole one ball, okay, of baseball, try to lift up against the gravity. This is how it should be against the gravity. Okay, against the gravity. So meaning that it against the force. When it's against the force, so we can say that, okay, in here we can have a negative work that happens. This is exactly the same as the charge. When you try to bring up the charge against the force, and so that here, okay, the same concept. But from this part, okay, we know when we try to we will try to move against the force, right? We actually try to bring up from this level of H, let's say H initial and H final. And definitely H final is more uh, greater than H initial. Ketinggian berbeza, right? The difference in height. Because now, obviously, final height is more greater than initial height, according to this picture. So according to that, we can say, or we can easily get something from here, because we want to relate what happened in terms of negative work done to the electric potential. Okay, and you know about the words of potential energy. Okay, remember potential energy for the ball itself from here is equivalent to mgh. Okay, mgh, this is potential energy. And the electric potential energy, okay, when we try to bring electric to the potential energy, then we use delta U. Delta U is electric potential energy. All right, so delta U equals to mgh, but delta U itself is electric potential energy. So in this case, if you want to relate, okay, against electric field and the gravity, so we can say that delta U is always equivalent to negative work. This is a very simple thing that you should know. When delta U positive, okay, meaning that the difference between potential energy, okay, we want to have a positive potential energy, then we are actually against the work. Okay, so this is the exact situation. Delta U equals to negative W. You should always remember this. Delta U equals to negative W. But W will depends, okay? W itself will depends on the situation, right? W will depend on the situation, right? So what kind of situation we are dealing now, right? So in this case, if we want to bring up the charge, the positive charge, on this case of positive charge, we know that a positive charge will have a force that should follow the electric field. okay, going down, and we want to go against the force. And what happens is we can have a negative work. So when a negative work, we try to bring up to here, and what happens is delta U equals to negative W, and against negative meets another negative. Okay, this is another negative, and that's why delta U equals to W. At first, delta U is equivalent to negative W because it's always like that. Okay, the potential, the electric potential energy is equivalent to the negative work done. But the work itself, just use the word W. The work itself will depends on the situation. If it go against the force, then W will be negative W. But if the positive charge follows the force, then or the displacement follow the force, then W should be positive W. So in the end, we can say that when it meets another delta U, say here, we can have a W equals to FD, and from E equals to F over Q, then F equals to EQ, then we try to bring here in this part, then we can have W equals to negative EQD. Negative EQD, when we put inside the situation, then it becomes negative delta U equals to EQD. This for some things that positive charge that go against the force and to perhaps go against the electric field. Okay, this is for the first example that positive charge go against the electric field. However, we can have another part which, let's look at this part. Okay, this is positive charge that follows the electric field. Okay, so first of all, we must remember delta U equals to negative W. This is the first term that you should know. Delta U equals to negative W, and after that, you should remember when positive charge follows the electric field, then its W, okay, will be positive. Okay, you can have a positive W. So therefore, what is W equals to EQ. And then when you put inside here, so it becomes negative dalam ni positive W. So equivalent to EQD. Okay, so that will be equivalent to EQD. But before we learn about here, okay, we should know that, right? This is something else, that delta U, when you divide it with Q, then you can have delta V. Okay, what is delta V? The electric potential. So please, okay, differentiate between electric potential energy, and electric potential, and work done. All right. So now you have delta V equals to delta U over Q. Okay, remember delta U is what? Delta U is negative W over Q equals to delta V. Okay. So you can rearrange the situation. You can always rearrange the equations to fit your problems, right? So that is delta V, and you should know delta U over Q equals to delta V. All right, so here, now we bring to here that this is delta U, and how can we relate it with the E, right? So remember these things, okay? Delta V, okay? Delta U is equivalent to V times Q naught. Okay, VQ. Okay, just remove VQ or WQ or negative WQ. Then you can bring up here, okay, to get E equals to VT. Right? Because we can have W over here. Okay, this is W, already W. So W is what? W is a VQ. And then we can derive it back, okay, to get E equals to V per D. Okay, E equals to negative V per D. And of course, this happens when volt. Okay, well, electric potential is volt and diameter is meter. Use the SI unit for each parameters, right? Okay, so when it follows the electric field, then electric field becomes negative. Okay, so when the charge follows the electric field, then we can have electric field equivalent to negative V per D, or we can easily say that V equivalent to negative ED. This one follows. I'll use a simple words. And then if you have go against the electric field, then you should have E equivalent to V per D, okay, without the negative. And of course, V is equivalent to ED. This one's against E. This one follow E. This one against E. So that is the simple things that you can say, and you can find that this equation inside the appendix. Okay. And we also learn about the electric potential, how the electric potential decreases as it moves in the directions of electric field. Okay, for those who know that we are try to implement this part, the electric potential and the electric potential energy, okay, in terms of the parallel plate capacitor. Okay, we want to use this part in the parallel plate capacitor, or the one that have positive and the negative charge. Or on your left is a positive charge, and on your right is your negative charge. And of course, when we learned in the previous chapter, okay, the positive charge will have a electric field line goes away from them towards the negative charge. It will be like that. Okay, from positive to negative, from positive to negative. It can never be a negative to positive. Okay, it can never be backwards. All right, the electric field line should follow the positive to the negative part. All right, so that's why we are saying that the electric field, okay, the electric field line is here. So electric field the same thing, but the electric field is the short form for the electric field lines. Okay, the electric field, okay, comes from the positive plate to the negative plate. And the one that I do the garis putus-putus do, right, is the where you can have an electric potential. Okay, and let's say if you have 12-volt batteries, then at the positive charge, okay, you will have a greater potential than at the negative charge. So you can say it decreases as it moves from one place to another place. Okay, let's say you have 12 volt, it goes down to 10, afterwards it goes to 8, 6, 4, and again, right now, the last part will be 0. So that's how the electric potential works and inside the electric field lines. Okay, so don't get confused between the terms. Electric field lines is the purple color. This is the electric field. But the one that I do the garis putus-putus is just the electric potential. Okay, the electric potential. So we can say that when we try to plot electric potential against distance, as a distance increase, the electric potential will be decreased. Okay, these are the examples. A few examples you can try on your own. All right, and how to and how to solve the problems of the electric potential and electric potential energy. If they want the electric potential energy, then you give delta U. Okay, the electric potential energy is delta U, and the electric field is E, and delta V is electric potential. And again, for those who are asking about why is it here is negative 12. Okay, and the question doesn't give you negative 12. Okay, but here I put negative 12. Okay, delta V, remember delta V is the electric potential. Okay, delta V meaning that V final minus V initial. So what is V final? Okay, according to this situation, the final should be 0 and the starting point will be 12. So 0 minus 12 become negative 12. So that's how we put negative 12 inside delta V. Okay, and of course the D or S, yeah, sometimes they use S, sometimes they use D. If I'm not mistaken, in your survey books we use D. Okay, so that's the matter, is still a displacement, and here displacement in meters. And of course, the unit for the electric field will be volt per meter instead of Newton per coulomb. Okay, the electric field also have Newton per coulomb. If you can still remember, E equals to F over Q. F is Newton and Q is coulomb. Newton per coulomb. Okay, Newton per coulomb. Right? Okay. Okay, this is another example, and we also learn about energy conservation, about potential and kinetic energy, how it compromise each other. If potential increase, then kinetic energy decrease, and if the kinetic increase, then potential energy will drop. So that's how it goes, and because of that, we can derive energy from the energy conservation. Okay, E initial equals to E final. Okay, at E, then we have a positive potential energy, PE plus KE. So in this case, we use PE as electric potential. If the system requires you to solve using electric potential, but if you are measuring or you are encounter problems that regarding ball, not charge, a ball like the one that from the previous slide, the boy is holding the ball, so we can not use electric potential. In fact, we will use MGH for the electric potential. So for the potential energy. Remember, okay, this is PE, potential energy, MGH, if it requires a height. Okay, but for the electric potential energy that we will use, QV. This is for electric potential energy. So please remember, QV is for electric potential energy because it use charge. And for ball that have mass, then they will use MGH, that is equivalent to potential energy. But in terms of kinetic energy, it's still using half mv squared. So this is how they introduce the and then we learn about electric potential. Okay, in this case, electric potential, okay, I already explained that V equivalent to KQ over R. Remember, okay, we have a force F equals to KQ over R, KQQ over R squared. Okay, we also have E, electric field, E equals to KQ over R squared. Remember to use modulus. Okay, and then we have a vector key of electric potential, KQ over R, without square, without modulus. Okay, this both force and field, okay, is a vector quantity. Okay, while for here, for the electric potential is a scalar quantity. Okay, but remember, when you try to calculate it, okay, remember to put a Q with the negative or positive. You should put the negative. If Q have negative, it's a negative charge, then you should put the negative at Q. Okay, because that will determine, right, whether it's a negative or positive. Then you should put the real value of Q. Okay, not just the same as the force and field, because force and field it contains a modulus. We have a modulus at Q, so it doesn't matter whether it is a positive or negative. The value should always be positive, but the negative is due to the directions of the force and field, because in the equation itself it contains a modulus. It contains a modulus at Q, but the electric potential, okay, it doesn't have modulus. And then when we try to answer it, okay, it is a normal plus. Okay, we use KQ over R squared. Okay, we use K, 8.99 times 10 to the power of 9. Okay, times with Q, 5, 10 power of negative 6 over R. Okay, the distance between the point P and the Q1 charge. Okay, and then for these examples, then we calculate everything and just do a normal additions. Okay, do a normal additions because the net electric potential you just have to add every calculations that you have. Okay, from the every charge. Let's say in here we calculated V1 and V2, then at the end you should plus V1 plus V2 to get 7.6 10 power of 3 volts. Okay, 7.6 10 power 3 volts. And then from the another point of view, how much work is required to bring a third point charge 4 microcoulomb from infinity to P. So that is another else that using a different in potential. Okay, I should be clear enough. Okay, on the first, on part B or part A, they want to find the net electric potential. But on the part B, how much work is required? How much work? So meaning that they want to know about work. Work is related to potential energy delta U, or in this case, they will use delta PE. Okay, delta PE. So what is delta PE? Q times delta V. Q times delta V. So electric potential at infinity is zero. Remember, electric potential at infinity is zero, and electric potential in this question is the one that we calculated on part A here, 7.6 10 power of 3 volts, and times with Q. And it's given inside the questions for microcoulomb here. 4 microcoulomb. So that's why we are getting 3 times 10 power of negative 2 joule. The unit now is joule because they want to know about work. Right. So please, okay, always check your final answers. Please follow the final answer. Always check with your final answers. In the force, you need to put a Newton. If the electric field, then you need to put a Newton per coulomb or volt per meter. Okay. For the electric potential, is just volt. Okay, electric potential energy, joule. Work, joule. Electric potential alone, volts. Okay, simple. So that's how you learn about. And how about charge, Q? Then it should be C, coulomb. C-O-U-L-O-M-B, or just put C. Okay, so simple, right? Okay, this is another examples that contains the calculations of the electric potential. And we also learn about equipotential surfaces and the electric field. Okay, the one on the picture itself. Okay, from our previous class. Okay, the purple is the electric field. Electric field lines. To be exact, is electric field line or electric field. The short form for electric field line is electric fields, and the green color line is the equipotential surface. Okay, what is the equipotential surface and how to draw it? Okay, it should be always right angle to the electric field lines. Okay, we should try to make sure that it close to the positive right angles to electric field lines. Okay, or we should say that electric field is perpendicular to the equipotential line. Sometimes they ask you to draw this kind of uh, uh, to draw the equipotential surface for the positive charge. And maybe they will ask you to draw, to sketch between two charges, two positive charge. Okay, or between a positive charge and a negative charge. Then it should be on like a figure B. Right? So this is how it happens. So in terms of equipotential surface, then we can say, okay, like I'm saying earlier about the decrease in the electric potential surface. Okay, electric potential surface is due to the decrease in electric potential. Okay, let's say if you do have 40 volts batteries, okay, from the positive terminal, okay, positive terminal at the end, at the first line of the positive terminal, then we should have a greater 40 volts, about 40 volts if contains 40 volts. And as it moves towards the negative charge, so towards the negative plates, then you can see it decreases to 30, 20, and lastly, it decreases to 0. Why? Because as we move a distance, a certain distance, then the equipotential surface, or in this case, the electric potential is actually decreasing. If you still remember when we plot the electric potential, this is the distance. As a distance, then it should have. Okay, this is electric field. Okay, the electric field, or should be electric potential V. Okay, it decreases as the distance increases. Okay, this is a charge placed on an ideal conductor. When it's free to move, we can say this is in terms of a uniform sphere. Okay, uniform sphere means perfectly shaped of sphere. So the distribution of charge will be thoroughly. Okay, the distribution of charge will be everywhere. But in terms of the things that doesn't have a symmetrical or maybe a fine form, then we can say that, okay, here a charge is more concentrated at the pointed end. Okay, at the pointed end, okay, yang hujung yang ada yang lebih kecil, yang ada yang runcing, jadi a lot of charge will be concentrated at that point compared to the one that have a broad surface. Okay. Okay, we also learned about the capacitors and the dielectrics. This one I want to highlight today about the capacitors and electric. Remember, the capacitors is the one that we learn the capacitor in your level is the parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. Why we use a parallel plate capacitor? Because there are a lot of capacitors in this world, but we are concentrating on the parallel plate capacitor. Okay, why we call it parallel plate capacitor? Because it have a parallel plate. Okay, a parallel plate that one will have a greater electric potential that we understood that as a positive plate, and this is a positive plate. And we have a negative plate. Okay, normally, if you try to think at the positive plate, there's a lot of positive charge. And at the negative plate, there are a lot of negative charge. And of course, when it happens, try to remember there will be an electric field. Okay, the electric field lines will goes out from the positive charge and comes to negative charge. And because of that, now we can have a capacitor. What is the purpose of the capacitors? Capacitors is to store the charge and energy. Storing the charge and energy. Okay, so in this case, we should know about some things that related to Q, meaning the magnitude of charge and also the potential. And how we can derive this one? So this is the capacitance. The word here is capacitance. C, okay, capital C, capacitance, is equivalent to a magnitude of charge over volts or over electric potential. That's why we learn a bit of a capacitor, especially the earlier, especially to the properties, a bit of properties of the capacitor. So we learn here because we want you to understand in terms of capacitance itself, because capacitance is due or is because of charge and of course electric potentials. Okay, charge per potential. So in this case, the unit for the capacitance is farad. Farad, right? F with the capital F. Or sometimes if you can't remember farad, so just use coulomb per volt. So Q is for coulomb, C for per V, C per V. Okay, but don't confuse between C, capital C, because coulomb should be in capital C, but don't confuse this column to the the one that capacitance. So yeah, right now should remember this is just a unit, SI unit. Okay, a simple type of capacitor is the parallel plate capacitor, consists of two plates of area. Okay, so normally when we have a capacitor, it should be like this one. Okay, it should be one plate and have another plate that facing each other like this. So it should be okay, parallel plate that contain area, must have an area. Okay, area. Okay, so it's not just a thin line, it should be an area of the capacitor, and due to that, okay, we can have a transport of electric field from positive terminal to negative terminal. So that's how they got the electric capacitance. So because of this, we can state that the capacitance of the parallel plate. So this is the general equations for the capacitance. C equals to Q per V. But okay, in here, okay, we can have okay, because for the specific parallel plate capacitor, so we can derive the capacitance that equivalent to epsilon naught A over D. Remember, epsilon naught A over D. What is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is 8.85 10 power of negative 12. Okay, 8.85 10 power of negative 12. If you can't remember, please refer to the appendix, or maybe you can refer to your at your covers of your calculators that contains also epsilon naught. And how about A? A is the area, and D is the separation between the plates. Separation between the plates. So if you are trying to solve a problem or to solve the examples of the parallel plate capacitor, please jot down every units that you have. In like case for these examples, okay, a parallel plate capacitor has an area. So this is a area. And a plate separation, this is D. Okay, and find its capacitance. Okay, a simple one, right? Then we should also know about. So right now we have a few equations that say here we have C equals to Q per V, and C is also equivalent to epsilon naught A over D for the capacitance. Okay, and from this part, you should also know about the electric charge density. Okay, charge density is equivalent to number of charge or magnitude of charge per unit area. Magnitude of charge per unit area, right? And of course, this one is all related to E. Okay, related to the electric field. This one related to charge density, and in the end related to electric field. Okay, this is for capacitance. But okay, the capacitor also contains a lot of capacitor, so it should fight to each other in terms of performance. So if you want to increase the performance of the capacitor, of course, because the how you build up the capacitor is because of the needs. So in order to maybe to do on the electrical devices, okay, a lot of electrical devices is fighting each other in terms of finding the best capacitance. So we can increase the performance of the capacitance by introduce the dielectric. So what is dielectric? So if you want to, the dielectric is actually an insulator. So when you have an insulator, you know that inside the insulator contains an electron, but not in the oriented, okay, but not in the a good position or a good arrangement. Okay, the electron inside the insulator. So how the insulators can improve? Okay, can be a dielectric to improve or to increase the performance of the capacitor is when we put the dielectric in between the plate. Okay, remember, a parallel plate capacitor at once, okay, doesn't have anything in between the plate. Okay, doesn't have anything, meaning that in the middles between the plate, okay, it contains vacuum, just vacuum, meaning that no air. Okay, no air, just vacuum. So if we put a dielectric or an insulator in between the plates, so we are trying to, okay, get or try to make sure that all electron inside the insulator can be oriented. Okay, can be oriented. Then when it fill up the gap between the parallel plate, so first of all, it will reduce the number of electric field lines. It will reduce the number of electric field lines. So what happened is, so V, so E equals to negative V over D. So V equals to ED. So remember, when E decrease, V also decrease. Okay, the electric potential will decrease. So as a result, when the electric potential decrease, then it will push or it will make the capacitance increase. Okay, because of the decrease in electric potential, and of course it will make sure that the capacitance increase. Okay, so due to this equation. So in terms of capacitance itself, so we learned about capacitance earlier, but right now we can say that the new capacitance, okay, with the presence of the electric field, so you must add another parameters of kappa. Here is your kappa K. Okay, kappa is the Greek parameters using the Greek numeric parameters kappa, and the unit for kappa is based on this part. Okay, a dielectric. We call that dielectric constant. Okay, without units. Okay, there is no unit in kappa. So you put, okay, kappa epsilon naught A over D. So let's look at this part. So C equivalent to kappa. So epsilon naught A over D is actually the first capacitance. So when you calculated capacitance earlier without kappa, then if they increase or they try to put the dielectric to that capacitor, so you just multiply the dielectric constant to the older versions of capacitors. So we can say C equals to KC naught, and maybe we can use E equals to epsilon naught over K. So you can find, okay, the electric field now becomes new electric field. Okay, it doesn't contain the same electric field because of the introductions of kappa. Okay, so let's look at this example. A parallel plate capacitor has a plate of 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So you should find your area by yourself. Okay, but remember, that is 2 centimeters times 3 centimeters. The area should be 6 centimeters square. So you need to change 6 centimeters square to meter square. Okay, find the capacitance of this device. So just do a normal part. Okay, if you were separated by 1 millimeter, so this should be the D. Thickness of paper. So thickness of paper is another dielectric, because you know paper is an insulator. So from this part, okay, because if the parallel plate capacitor has vacuum, so it shouldn't be anything in between the plate. Okay, if they put a thickness of paper, they put a paper, then you should find in the dielectric constant. Paper is what? 3.7. Okay, 3.7. So you should put here 3.7. Okay, and epsilon naught K like 8.85, 10 power of negative 12. These are the area, and of course this is the display plate separations. So that should be capacitance. The maximum charge that can be placed on the capacitor. Okay, the word now is the maximum charge. How to get the maximum charge? All right, so we know from here you can look at the word maximum charge. Okay, if you want to get maximum, then you need to use a maximum of everything. Let's say if you do have electric potential V max, Okay, the earlier part we learned about V equals to ED, the normal one, right? So if we want to get maximum in everything, so we should put a maximum. Okay, so meaning that from V equals to ED, okay, here, V equals to ED. Now we can change this equation, become V max equals to E max times D. What is the purpose of V max, E max, and D? Right? So the purpose of Emax, Vmax is we want to find, okay, using the apa, using the equation or the appendix, using our appendix. Because if you want to find a Vmax, then we should have a Emax times D. How to get Emax? Okay, and how to get Emax? Then we should use the dielectric constant table here. The Emax should be on this part. This is E max. Okay, we call that dielectric strength. Okay, if you look at the unit will be volt per meter, same as electric field. Okay, but on the dielectric strength, this is where we do all the maximum part. So if you are using paper, then the maximum of paper is 16 times 10 power of 6. Okay, so you put the maximums of here. 16 times 10 power of 6 volt per meter times the D. D is of course is just a scalar quantity, so it doesn't have a maximum value. So right now the Vmax should be 1.6 10 power of 4. Then if you want to get the maximum charge, so remember to use a capacitor. Capacitor equals to Q over V. This is the original one. That if you want to get maximum, then everything should be maximum. So Q equivalent to CV. So right now you want to find Q max. Q max equivalent to C. C is not, C is just C, doesn't have C max, times with V max. Okay, then you have a V max you put inside here, times with here, C. Then you can have Q max or charge maximum. Okay. On the part C, after the fully charged capacitor is disconnected from the battery, the dielectric is subsequently removed. Okay, dielectric subsequently removed. Find the new electric field across the capacitor. Okay, find the new electric field across the capacitor. So that is another thing that you can have a capacitor, discharge capacitors. So you can have a charge density over here. You can use the charge density. This is the charge density where we can apply the Q max over A. So we can find the charge density, and in the end we can find the electric field using E equals to charge density over epsilon naught A. So in order to get electric field, 6 times 10 power of 7 Newton per Coulomb. So there are 3 parts of this kind of problem. Very good. Okay, in terms of learning. Okay, parallel plate capacitors. This is parallel plate capacitors. And of course, we learn about dielectric. In this part, we also learn about electric potential and the electric field. And how can we connect between both using the C equals to Q per V. And last part, we want to know about, again, the electric field. So the most important thing, you need to know how it relates between electric field and electric potential. So that's how all about. So in here we know, okay, please find it. Okay, this is the dielectric constant, and you have another dielectric strength. On the dielectric strength, you used to get Emax. Okay, the maximum electric field. If it's given, okay, maybe it's not given in the table, or it will be given inside the questions. No, don't worry about that. Okay. So this is the applications, simple application, and the last part will be the electrical energy storage, which I already discussed this one. Okay, you can have an electrical energy storage in terms of half QV. Okay, this is charge, this is electric potential. Okay, half CV square, you can have a capacitance. This is capacitance, and V square is electric potential. And you can also calculate this between half, this one, half Q square over C. Q square over C. All right. So you can have any kind of calculations. Just refer to the questions that you have been given. Okay, try to compare. Now you can calculate the electric storage of the parallel capacitors in terms of maybe in terms of QV, in terms of CV, or maybe in terms of QC. So all have a different approach. Okay, you can have a different things, different equation to solve one problem. So no problem, eh? Okay, so you can do your examples on your own, right? Okay, do you have any questions?